Good evening, dear racing fans, and welcome to race number 6 of season 2 in the L2S F1 Tier 1 here in Spielberg, Austria. We are at the midway point of the season. We have a shortened season, shortened season 2, shortened season 3 to get in at least 3 seasons before we turn to the new game that is probably coming in sometime during summer. And so we are heading here to Austria for race 6. We will see a 80 minutes qualifying followed by a 50% race. That is 36 laps here. We see collision, safety car, VSC, rules and flags. All that is set to on, full damage, dynamic weather. This can be a topic in Austria. What definitely is a topic is the strict corner cutting. I don't know if you watched the virtual Grand Prix of the official Formula 1 in January, but we've seen one former Formula 1 driver, Antonio Liuzzi, who in the end was disqualified from the race because of having too many penalty seconds. So this is a big issue here to watch. This is the rest of the assists we use. We have medium traction control, manual gearbox, and most of the assists are off. So especially pit assist, pit release assist, you have to maintain manual pace when coming into the pits. Short look at the track, 10 turns, only 4.3 kilometers of length, so one of the shorter tracks. And track difficulty is set to very easy, and that definitely is. And yeah, the session timer is finished, and off we go to the Alps, some little village in Styria. And yeah, German as I am, this is more or less my home race. And yeah, the Red Bull Ring, who had many different names, Österreichring, A1 Ring, and whatever, has returned to the Race Canada a few years ago. And yeah, it is very short. It lacks some technical parts, sadly, but still it is a high-speed track, and many drivers like it because of the fast-paced turns and the fact that Sector 3 and Sector 1 is more or less just one gigantically big DRS zone. And yeah, so it's always very action-packed and a lot of overtake maneuvers. And we have seen just the same in Tier 2. Tier 2 started 2 hours ago, and we have seen an interesting race with a lot of penalty seconds. Yep, that was a topic. And I suppose we will have just the same here in Tier 1. But I think, yep, there are some raindrops dwindling down. Still the first one to go on the track, Jimmy O, but ahead of him is still someone else. The first one to move out on an out lap is Infamous, Mr. Infamous, in his white, silver, black, green livery. You know us as you are already a fan of MRS. I suppose we do not race with the normal teams. We have unique car liveries. Everyone races in his own creation. And it seems like the track will be very busy here. So the track is very short, and if it's very busy, that could turn out into a problem for some drivers. It looks like the rain is starting right on the beginning of the qualifying, so everyone is trying to get a hot lap in early because it could be the only hot lap possible. Everyone starts on softs. And we stay here with Mr. Infamous, my little tradition. First one to go out is the one I ride on board with for the first hot lap to get a feel for the track, to see how things are going down here today. It looks like it's still dry enough to brake late. Oh, and Infamous has lost it already. Second turn, and Infamous has lost his maybe only chance for a hot lap on the acceleration there. And maybe it was the fact that he lost rear downforce with opening up the OS. Maybe he was just a little bit too early on the acceleration with the wetter turning track. The OS is disabled, so haha, this is a strange situation. I admit I haven't had this yet in my commentator's career. That means everyone who will finish the hot lap right now, and the first one is Chris Tam. All those guys who finish the hot laps now, yeah, the starting grid is more or less formed right in the first 2 or 3 minutes, because when it's getting wetter and DRS is disabled, no one will be able to beat the early times from here right now. Infamous therefore will be in probably the last position, or at least somewhere in the last starting grid then. So this is a bit poor, a bit sad for me. I don't know what to depict you for the next 13 minutes. But we ride on board here with Chris Tam, our pole king. He did that in Tier 2 last season. He does just the same here in Tier 1 now in this season. Yeah, you can really visually see that the track is getting wetter. So, yeah, after 4 minutes, I can already say congratulations to yet the next pole for Chris Tam in race 6. I think this is the 5th pole for him in this year. And he has, or we have, another guy doing just the same in Tier 2. That's Riyad Zudin. He just posted a very hot pole time, 1:02.7. But yeah, this time cannot be beaten here by the Tier 1 drivers due to the weather condition. Golden Pickle, the only one who was within a second of Chris Tam. And yeah, we see now Infamous, Laurentiu in the pits. Mark Ainley likewise, who will try a hot lap on Inters. But I doubt that you can be good enough on intermediate tires to beat dry tires, to beat the times from the softs. Maybe those who committed a mistake, maybe something like John Bunter, Official Balox and Slayer, they are 11 or 15 seconds behind Chris Tam. Those times can be beaten, but I would like to think that the top 6 should be set, and yeah, Mashatit, Safkov, they could be those positions might be available, but we will see. We will see. I just hope that this is not going to be a very boring qualifying. Let's maybe stay with, who was it? I think Infamous. I think he was the first one to go out on Inters. He needed to. He was the first one who came back to the pits after his bad first hot lap try. He was the first one on the track. That was very clever, very smart, I would like to say. But I think he knew it, that he had just this one chance. And even though he knew it, he sadly threw it away. Let's stay with him here for the moment and let's see what is still possible for him. I mean, he's still at least battling for something around P10 or so. So there is still something available for him, just because of the fact that we see 6 drivers that did not post the time in dry condition, because we see 3, 4, 5 additional drivers who had a mistake in their hot lap, so there is still a little bit possible, but I am very sure that the first 3 starting rows should be decided already by now. You can see him struggle and slide in the turns. He did not invalidate the lap, even though he took the turn very aggressively. Have a look. And he's into P6. Into P6. Mark A. Leon enters. Good lap time for him too. So, yeah, now I think the first 3 rows finally are set and done. Pole anyway. Chris Tam is on an out lap, okay. So the time of Golden Pickle and Chris Tam of their each tries right now, they will tell us if their first hot laps on softs was good enough or not to stay in the position. Golden Pickle is coming towards the end of Sector 2 here, and then 2 seconds behind his formerly posted time, so nothing going for him. Chris Tam, yes, 1.1 seconds behind his hot lap from before, so it is obvious that all those who had competitive times in their each first shot should be safe. And yeah, the big question is just where will, I don't know, something like, let's say P8 and beyond, P8 and backwards, where will all those drivers be lined up? And it's actually a bit sad, because I haven't seen something like this yet, that it starts raining right at the beginning of the quali. So yeah, the session is a little bit strange, a little bit worthless, at least everything after the first 3, 4 and 5 minutes maybe. So let's have a look. The first 4 drivers have set their best lap time on softs. Then we see a gap of half a second to official who was the first one to post his best time on inters. Then back to Dean Cunha. That's interesting, because Dean Cunha, with 2.9 seconds behind Chris Tam, posted his lap time on softs. So I suppose he had a bit of a mistake in his lap, and yeah, he's the only one behind there who was running on softs. That will mean that if things will stay this way, and I suppose that it's gonna be that, it's very likely that it will stay that way, we see free tire option for the start for everyone except the top 4. But luckily Austria is not a track where tire strategy is very important or interesting. Everyone will try to go through on a one stop, and soft to medium is possible. Maybe soft to hard, that is definitely possible. So it will be a one stop race, and you cannot win or lose a lot if you start on other tires than the softs. So with 4 minutes left, you notice I am a bit silent. That's a bit unusual for me, but yeah, there's not a lot I can tell you right now, and we do not have updated overall standings, sadly, due to some time lackings of our admin, so I cannot even get you our overall standings depicted, or at least run it down for you. And so yeah, I'm doing a bit hard now to make these minutes a bit more filled with information, and we just see Mr. Official here. Official is our reigning current champion from Season 1 in his tank livery, fastest tank of this planet, and he's trying to improve himself, and it even did. He improved himself by 59,000, and that still will make him stay in P5. He has half a second of gap to Casto France, because Casto France is one of those drivers who posted their lap time still on the soft tire. And so more or less everything is settled here. We have a look at the vice champion. This is the Slayer, one of our league admins, who is more or less level to his formerly posted time. There he is in his Arrows livery. Not by the name of the former team, but this is just the name of this livery. And he is 31,000 slower than the formerly his best posted lap time. 31,000, that's really nothing. So speaks for his racing quality that he can put in such consistent lap times. Now he's a bit slower, okay. Maybe because of, who was it, Bullocks, who came out of the pits. Maybe that distracted him a little bit. Yeah, a lot of drivers still in the pits. I admit, for some drivers, I don't quite understand why they are still running. Like Infamous, who is running 3 laps already on his Inters right now. I suppose he knows that it's impossible for him to improve anymore, but maybe I have not seen any weather report. Maybe this is just a little bit of training for all those guys who are running, because maybe the race will be wet too, and so it could be possible that every one of the drivers are practicing the slippery condition. Maybe. We will find out in a few minutes. Yeah, so the qualifying is now officially over. We see still a few drivers who post next hot lap, but the decision was made already a long time ago. 50 minutes ago, Chris Tam posted his lap time, and that stayed all quality long. Congratulations to our pole king, Chris Tam. And we will just see the starting grid here as soon as the session is officially over. So the quali now is officially over. Slayer has qualified into P11. And here's the final result. We see Chris Sam in the pole, then Golden Pickle, followed by Jimmy O and Castor France. Official in P5, 6 to Landebot, 7 Laurenture, 8 Infamous, 9 Chappie, 10 Mark Ainley, 11 for the Slayer, 12 the Royal Harvey, 13 John Bunter, Dean Cunha, our host, in P14, Safkov 15th, Aces versus Kings in 16, Marshall 17, and last in 18 is Bellox. So the weather for the race, it is cloudy. I don't see raindrops here right now, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they will come in a bit later. So yes, we will have an eye on how the weather will turn out to be in the next 45 minutes. Everyone has put up their each tire strategy. It looks like it is dry, isn't it? So for the moment, let's have a look at the starting tire. The top 4 need to start on soft. The rest is free of each option, and we see quite a few mediums. Didn't expect that we would see so many medium runners. Speaking about the tires, there's the projected or the predicted pit stop strategy by the Amazon Web Services. And the first one to start on medium is Laurentiu and Infamous, then two softs with Chappie and Magainley. And the last two boys, Moshetit and Bellox, start on soft. So the grid is split 50-50, I would suppose, between soft and medium. And I still did not see or hear from the drivers anything about the weather report. But we will just see how the things will evolve. And maybe that's the reason why still so many drivers opted for mediums. Because maybe towards the middle of the race there could be some rain and they might try to go through until the rain start. But okay, that's all just speculation. Let's just focus on the race here. Now the CPO probably already has overtaken Chris Tam's car and will guide him into his starting box. So the starting grid is formed up. Yes, it is. And the 5 red lights are on. And we have a go in Austria. Good start there from Chris Tam, but already under pressure in turn 1. And I think it's Golden Pickle. No. Chris Tam still in the lead. Tam in the lead, but under pressure. And in turn 2, what does Golden Pickle do? Attack, but no chance for an attack. And now he's under pressure from Jimmy O. Wheel to wheel towards turn 3 here. But no attack. Pickle leaves the door open. Jimmy O still there. Official is close too. And now I think this should be more or less settled. Yellow in sector 2. I was about to scroll through the field to see if or what was going on. We see 3 guys with a lot of minuses on their position. That's Laurentiu, Landabot and Casto France. Those guys in the 3 last positions. Maybe there was some tangling up between them. No DRS, of course, yet. In lap 2, the standings is always a bit confused. Just ignore that, please. We see some wheel-to-wheel action. This is Slayer and Chappie. Better lane here for Chappie. Oh, yellow ahead. No overtake here. If it's yellow. No, it's green again. That was a bit sad for Chappie. Good position, good possibility to overtake. But he cannot do it on the yellow, of course. And now Slayer is a little bit out of Chappie's grasp. But there is a lot of stuff going on behind. A huge train of drivers. Chappie always running a little bit wide. That might invite John Bunter sooner or later. This is the view of Chappie. We sit on his shoulder here. And DRS will be enabled right now. So for the next DRS zone, everyone should be able to open up the rear wing. Everyone except Golden Pickle in second. And there was already the first attack. Jimmy O against Official. And the reigning champion pushed through. P3 now for Official. What's going on here? Some midfield action. Casto France has left due to some internet connection issues, I suppose. And Chappie dropped behind Banter now. Even though Chappie is on a faster tire, on the red softs, still Banter found a way to push through. We see the first penalties come in. We will see a lot of them in the ongoing race. Official, new fastest lap time. Chappie very close here, but everyone has the RS. Everyone except... Who is it? I think Royal Harvey. Yes, got to be Royal Harvey. So everyone, a lot of drivers here in the DRS window, indirectly to Royal Harvey. Yeah, in the front, Chris Tam just crawling away. As soon as he'll start lap 5, we will see the interval gap. 1.8 seconds already. And then a little group. Then 3.8 seconds of gap. And then this massive DRS train here. It's more or less just a question of time. What's going on here? This could turn on into some action. Ooh, late launch from Mark Ainley against Banter. So this has split into two groups now. This is the front triple. Infamous and Slayer chasing the Royal Harvey, and behind another three-man fighting group, Mark Ainley being followed and haunted by Banter and Chappie. No, but it looks like Mark Ainley is he is faster on his softs against Slayer Head. You could really see him getting closer again. So here we are back in this, not two triple, but one big six-man group. We see what's happening here. Mosheted needing a wide lane and therefore losing a position to Landerbot. And another one to Bellox, who was sneaking through here. Aces versus Kings ahead. He will be under pressure soon too. The question is just by whom of these three guys. Lando Bot ahead, not in the grasp yet, but Bellox and Mosheted battling it out. And behind, wheel-to-wheel action between Laurentier and Dean Cunha, both on mediums. Into turn 5, dangerous, but everything was okay. Laurentier in his all-black livery, just like every week. Castelfrance left again, so obviously he was able to return and was thrown out again. He's already 2 laps behind the leader, so 1 lap now, but still he's lapped after just 7 laps, so his race is more or less over, sadly, already by now. Let's have a look back to the racing action, and there's always plenty of action in Spielberg. Have a look at this, what a big bubble of cars here. I cannot tell you who's battling who, because everyone's going against everyone. And 3-man, 5, 6-man into turn 4 here. And for the moment we see Chappie leading the group, followed by Bellox. Bellox coming from behind. Great race thus far from him. And then, there was someone going wide. I sadly couldn't depict it who it was. A orange car. Got to be Slayer. got to be Slayer. There it is. And Slayer, who is already running on mediums. Let's see if he needs a pit stop here. Does not. He stays out. I think there's no damage on his front wing. He just spun on the exit of turn 6 or something. Again, yellow in sector 2. Could have been Bellox, I think, because he's back to P15. He was already up in P10. The weather, by the way, has turned out into a sunny day, so no rain threats, at least at the moment. And the leader, Chris Tam, 2.2 seconds away from official. And in the background we see this 3-man fighting group. Then a gap already 8.5 seconds on Royal Harvey. This is crazy. Oh, and there is some action. There's some fights. Royal Harvey defending here against Mark Ainley after he already lost a position to Infamous. And Royal Harvey now finally lost 2 positions at once. He was defending a bunch of laps against all drivers behind without DRS, while everyone else was able to open the rear wing, and now it was just a matter of time until he was caught, and that happened right here. And yeah, so there's a lot of up and down, a lot of groups and fighting and back and forth. This is one of the good and great features about Austria and why so many drivers and fans like the track. We see Chappie in the pits. I suppose he'll take a set of hards and finish the race on it. Chappie on mediums, but 26 laps he cannot make on this set, so he will need to stop again. We've seen that in Tier 2. We've seen one driver, sadly I cannot recall the name. I think it was Lil Chim, maybe? I think it was Lil Chim, who finished in second. He made his mediums last for 23 laps, and then in the last lap he had a puncture and just got through the race somehow. We see some yellow in sector 2. Already vanished. So still a few laps until the pit stop window will open for the one-stop soft runners. We are here in lap 12 and we do not see that many penalty icons next to the names. Let's have a short look about that. As we have a moment, we see a bunch of +3s. Castor France, Chappie, John Bunter, McAinley, Infamous, and then a double +3 for Cunha and the Golden Pickle. This could be costly to Golden Pickle in the end. He's fighting for a podium. He's even fighting for P2. Let's jump through him real quick. But he could be ranked back then a lot of positions in the end with his +6. Some more penalties now coming in. +3 now for official likewise. So Jimmy O is right on the edge of the DRS window, so maybe let's stay with Golden Pickle here for the moment. Now finally all our top 3 are penalized by at least +3 seconds. Jimmy O, the only one of the top 6 who is without a penalty second. Yeah, Golden Pickle here travels from one DRS zone to the next, but is unable to attack officials, so good straight line speed for our reigning champion. Still, in every DRS zone he's able to pull away just enough. So, more or less, yeah, officially the DRS, the pit stop window is open for the one-stoppers, but still none of the soft drivers have come into the pits, but this is just a question of time, question of a few laps out. And the Pickle, the first one to pit. Let's see, I suppose he will finish the race on mediums from here onwards. Red off, yellow on, that's just it. Let's maybe stay with him for a moment and see if his undercut worked. If he can get past official with the pit stop strategy just ahead of the ace. He's just ahead of Aces versus Kings back on the track, while in the background Blanderbot and Laurentius are battling. Let's have a short look what those 3 guys are doing. Blanderbot on softs. Oh, long, heavily locked up tire here for Laurentius. That, yeah, it didn't cost time, but it ruined his tires a little bit, maybe. So the Golden Pickle definitely faster than those 3 guys behind him. This is a first indicator that this undercut lap was a very good one. The guys ahead now in the pits. Chris Tam, official, Panther, Ainley, all those in the pits. It's hectic and busy in the pit lane now, and let's see if Golden Pickle can make the strategy work. Yes, he does! He's out in front of official. Official lost the position to Golden Pickle, and even, yeah, have a look, 1.3 seconds, 1.4 seconds. He was in front of Pickle before and now is behind him by over 1.3 seconds. So, yeah, undercut, making the undercut work by perfection. The Golden Pickle here. Chris Tam virtually still in front, of course, but Golden Pickle got closer to him too. Just 1.4 seconds the gap to the virtual leader here. And then ahead, Bunter, Harvey, Infamous. All those did not stop yet. They will try to make their mediums last a little bit longer to finish the race then on softs. So this could mean that Chris Tam, this guy, will catch up to those ahead, and if he starts to battle them, he might lose a little bit of time then. So the victory is not set and done for him yet. Another pit stops came in from Jimmy O, Mark Ainley, Lando Bot, Bellox finishing the race on hards even. And good, Castor France in the last position, so he's lapped. Castor France is still with us, but out of the racing action. Still we are at around the midway point, midway mark of the race, and we still do not see just one driver out of the race. That definitely speaks for the race quality of L2S, and here we are. Just what I mentioned, Chris Tam caught up to the other drivers and now is battling them, pushing ahead of Royal Harvey rather easily. That did not cost the time, a late attack! Woohoo! Late lunge forward on Bunter, and he made it! Ooh, that was risky. That was risky for him, because Bunter left the door open as he saw him coming. If he didn't do that, if Bunter did not leave the door open, Tam maybe he hurt his nose there. Yeah, and that would have costed him the race win then. And so he knows, he should have known, that Harvey and Bunter are still in need of a pit stop. So I know he doesn't want to lose time towards those drivers behind, but still I think this move was a bit too risky. But okay, everything went well, and here we see now, what is it, Harvey and Golden Pickle. The next fighting group here going at it, filmed and brought to us from the view of official. Golden Pickle with a lock tire. He needs to make these tires last for the end of the race, so he shouldn't do that too often. And I think official now even had to lift a little bit not to tag Bunter's rear here. You can visually see how much official is faster on his fresh mediums compared to the older mediums on the car of Bunter. And yes, he pushed through. Right, the next DRS attack coming up against Harvey here. Oh, this worked very easily. Very smoothly, very easy overtake. Woohoo! Almost threw it away then on some acceleration troubles, and therefore Royal Harvey is through again. Official with a better grip here in the intermediate sector, but Harvey doesn't give up, wheel to wheel. Yeah, in the end, official did push through on the better grip he had. And Harvey into the pits. Does Bunter? No, Bunter does not follow him. Laurent, you're in here too. Mark Ainley will finish the race on soft. Laurentio will do just the same. I was Royal Hobby, of course, not Mark Ainley. Ah, new nose. Ah, that's sad. That cost a lot of time here for Laurentio. So everyone who was close to him and everyone he was battling with, that is over now. With additional 4-5 seconds of replacing the nose. And he's out. Oh, just ahead of Chappie, who is still in need of another pit stop. So let's have a look at our leaders. We see Infamous still running. Infamous is in the pits right now, just when I said it. And then Golden Pickle is in second. He is now 2.2 seconds behind Chris Tam. So a little bit of cushion for Tam, but he cannot commit a mistake. Then, yeah, we see the field a bit stretched out. So no one in the DRS window there from P1 down until, yeah, almost the half field, I would like to say. So the only one, just two drivers inside the DRS window, that is Laurentio, who just overtook Aces versus Kings, and then Ballox chasing Zavkov. So let's have a look at Mr. Ballox, who is chasing Zavkov but is a bit far away, too far for an attack. While maybe Laurentio will be in a better position to attack against the ace. Maybe already here. Maybe he doesn't even wait for the next DRS zone. No, he does. A little bit more patience. Next DRS zone is right here on the start-finish straight. Catching up to him. Does he dare to attack him in turn 1? Ooh, no, he does not. But he is just the next DRS zone. Now he's a little bit farther away. But doesn't matter, because after the next turn, that's already just another DRS zone. So right now he needs to have a clean acceleration, and he does. And this should work maybe this time. But Aces versus Kings on a good acceleration. Laurentio will need to wait another one lap. And something similar is going on here. This is maybe a group here to watch, because we are here on the shoulder of Landobot, who maybe had a bit of a touch on John Bunter and Slayer ahead in the pits. And now let's have a look what Bunter and Marshatit are doing here. Both DRS equipped. Still Bunter seems faster. And Marshatit just loses the next position. Lando Bot ahead. He needed to let two drivers pass within more or less just one turn. We see Marshatit with his 11 laps old mediums definitely on a disadvantage on the tire. So here's the next attack, and this time it worked. Laurentio back in P10, getting back a few positions he lost earlier due to the change of the front wing. So we can easily stay here with Marshalted because there is just no one in the DS window of anyone else. And yeah, Marshalted 12 laps on this set of mediums. We still have 11 laps to go, so he would match the 23 laps of Lil Jim in Tier 2. Let's see if he wants to go through on this set and if you might have a puncture again. Or not again, but just like Lil Jim did. Infamous, now the only one who is in attack mode, chasing Jimmy O through the Alps. Yeah, and Champino in the pits, taking his second and final pit stop. He will finish the race on softs and attack from Infamous. And this worked easily, but Jimmy O, I suppose, left the door open. He knows that Infamous on the softs is just faster. And Dean Cunha is the first one to retire. Dean Cunha came back into the pits and parked his car in the garage, stepped out of his cockpit. The first one to retire, 10 laps remaining in the race. That, I mentioned already, speaks for the quality of L2S racing. And now the only one chasing in the DS window is Laurentiu again. So Laurentiu is hot. He does have some race pace. He's very well on his pace on the long runs. Just shows us that he was not in a good condition in the qualifying in the wet, rainy, slippery condition. And Landabot able to defend, but this will not last for eternity. Maybe just the next DIS zone, and Laurentiu goes past him on the outside. Oh, wheel to wheel, not over yet. It's not over yet. Landabot fighting like a lion, but in the end he needs to bow to the Romanian driver. And here we are sitting on the shoulder of Aces versus Kings. He's 5 seconds behind Landabot. That can only mean that the driver ahead is lapped. So this is Casto France, I think. Alright, behind him is Marshalted. So the Ace does have DRS due to the fact there is someone ahead of him. That might save him a little bit against Marsha. And now let's have a short look at the penalties. The tire strategy should be complete for everyone, so let's get in the penalty situation. And the +3s dominate. We see, I think, not one +5. Well, Castle France maybe had a +5. And the rest is just +3s or even multiple +3s. Chris Tam leading, and the penalty situation does not seem to harm him. While we have a look at Infamous, who is chasing Margainley for P4. Yeah, Chris Tam +3, that's better than almost everyone behind him. Golden Pickle +9, Official +6. That would mean those two drivers would swap positions. If it will stay this way, then there's a big gap, so the podium is safe. Just the row is not safe yet. We see Infamous fighting hard against Mark Ainlay. Ainlay on the mediums, trying to push ahead against the soft runner. Not yet, not yet. We see Royal Harvey and Landabot and Slayer are the only drivers without a penalty second. So let's, yeah. For some reason, I hope that Vito Antonio Liuzzi would maybe watch us. I think it might be a little bit unlikely, but if he does, well, hello Vito Antonio Liuzzi, and yeah, I'll send you the mail address from Royal Harvey and Landabot and Slayer so they can teach you how to go through the Austrian Grand Prix without picking up penalties. We have no driver who looks endangered to be disqualified, so even those plus 15 and plus 14 for Chappie and Castelfranz, that's a lot, yeah, it's really a lot, but not much, not as much to be close to a disqualification. Golden Pickle now plus 12, so that will make him cost a lot in the end. Let's just hope that there will not be a safety car in the last 5 laps, because then this would shuffle everything. We have seen a race in Monza last year, in the last season, and last year is correctly too. We had a safety car in the last 5 laps or so, and Monza is a track where you can pile up a lot of penalties too. And with this late safety car, we see a totally shuffled and puzzled finish result then due to the penalty seconds. And right now it seems that Infamous was able to pull away of Ainlay a little bit. Sneaking away, sneaking out of the DRS window. So for the moment, let's have a look at the only battle that's going on the track. This is Chappie and Savkov battling it out. In the end, Savkov will be ranked ahead due to the plus 15 seconds of penalty against Chappie. But those two boys are racing drivers, and they will try everything to get this settled on the track. Oh, wheel to wheel into turn 4 here. Battle lane for Chappie. No, Savkov stays ahead. So 4 laps to go. Chappie having another plus 3 on his account, giving him a plus 18. Chappie and Savkov still battling. Savkov now in the trailing position. Oh, and official over to Golden Pickle. And they are still doing it. They're still battling wheel to wheel into turn 3. And official is through. He will stay ahead due to the penalty situation. As long as no one of those guys throws it away. So let's stay with them for the moment, as this is a bit more important battle than what's happening for P16. I hope that's okay for everyone. The Golden Pickle now behind, and he will stay in P3 as long as he doesn't commit a huge mistake due to the penalty seconds, of course. For the moment, maybe let's have a look at some other fighting group that has piled up. The field was very stretched out just a few laps ago, and now we see some battle going on again. This is the battle for P7 in the end. Bunter, Chimio, Laurentio. Yeah, those three guys. Everyone DRS equipped. Bunter was close enough to Royal Harvey, and Chimio runs wide, therefore needs to let Laurentio pass, but he grants some breathing space to Chimio, and therefore the Chimmy stays ahead. Battle inside. Laurentio ahead. Maybe? Yes, he is. Oh, and I sadly missed it. I sadly missed... What did... I'm sorry. The table was confused again. That confused me totally. I thought I missed a mistake from Golden Pickle as he was dropped down to P16 shortly. But no, he of course is not in P16. Golden Pickle is in third. And here's the final battle. 2 laps remaining to settle the fight for P6 versus John Bunter sitting in the car he has called Miss Piggy, and Royal Harvey, who's in the half and half two-face livery. So a lot of pink battling it out here. And as we are in the last lap, Golden Pickle has reconquered P2 from official, but this will not hold up long, of course, due to the penalties. Yellow in sector 2, Moshetit has spun there and lost now, I think, 2 positions. Let's have a look what Golden Pickle is doing. He is very close in the rear of official. Moshetit ghosted. Moshetit is more or less out. He will finish the race. And as the race is actually over, the last turn for someone we didn't have a lot in the camera. Congratulations to the victory in Spielberg for Chris Tam. Very good drive for him in second. Then official Golden Pickle will stay in third. Infamous will finish in a very good 4th position after his troubles in the qualifying. 5th goes to Mark Ainley for the moment. Let's see if there is a bit of ranking up and down here in the midfields due to penalties. Yeah, there it is. There it is. John Bunter was in 6, is now ranked back to P8. Then Jimmy O in 9, and Aces versus Kings gets the last point granted. No, he does not. Slayer gets the last points granted. 10th for Slayer. The Ace ranked back to 11. And then the last one to see the checkered flag is Savkov. The race is officially over here right now. We finish on board with the Ace. Aces versus Kings. Driver of the day is ruled to be Royal Harvey. So, the cup and champagne for our 3 podium setters. Chris Tam, the overall leader, has increased his gap even more after this race. So he looks like the #1 contender for the championship in Season 2 after already winning the championship in Tier 2 in Season 1. So, yes, Chris Tam won it. Then official. 3rd, Golden Pickle. 4th, Infamous. 5, Mark Ainley. 6, Royal Harvey. 7, Laurentio. 8, John Bunter. 9, Chimio. 10th, 4th, Slayer. 11 is Aces vs Kings. 12, Landebot. 13, Balox. 14, Savkov. 15 Chappie, 16 Marchetet, 17 Casto France, and the only one who did not finish was our host, Dean Cunha. So, and this is it. The Austrian Grand Prix is finished. A Grand Prix of a very high class. Not a single safety car, not even a virtual safety car. That really speaks for the racing quality of the L2S community. Thanks for being with us. This was one great race for us here again in Season 2. L2S continues next Thursday on 7 p.m. of UK time. Tier 2 starts 9 p.m. Then Tier 1, we will head to Budapest in Hungary then for the next race. I am sadly not sure if I will be streaming this race. We will just see how things will turn out, but there will be a stream. I am very sure of that. For the moment, I just want to say thanks for being with us. It was a pleasure for me to stream it home into your living room. Have a good evening. Stay safe in these times. And keep racing.